Hello, welcome again, City Heroes Video Tours. On this one, I'm going to show you the mission that I have found to be, well, you can call it the best, but it's a little bit of an inconvenience to get to it. But it is the best one for farming the Crey Cryogeneticist defeat badge. This one right here. These particular bosses were added some time ago by the Homecoming staff. Thank you. Thank you very much, Homecoming. They spawn in level 35 plus Crey missions. However, their spawn ratio compared to other Crey is very, very thin. Even on a level 50 Crey mission, you might see one, maybe two on the whole map. Maybe more. Just all depends. You can also street sweep through Crey's Folly and find some here and there and everywhere, but again, their spawn ratio is not always the greatest. Sometimes you get lucky and you find a nice amount of them. Sometimes you just won't. This mission, though, here is part of the Aeon Strike Force. This is the Crey mission of the Aeon Strike Force. And usually you can get 9 ticks on the badge in this mission. The trick is not to finish the mission, and you just log out, reset, repeat. So, without further ado, let's go in. And we'll see if maybe we can pick up a couple gamma tanks along the way. This mission is not recommended for farming gamma tanks, even with a full team, because again, their spawn ratio also compared to other Crey. First, I'll set off all the ambushes here, then we'll just see what we get. It is random. Oh, there's a gamma. Also, for reference, this character is a Defender Force Field Energy Blaster. Okay, and that's not a gamma tank. Alright, well, the ambushes have been dealt with. That's a standard guard there, so they're not too likely to follow me. This is the floor where we have both the regular Paragon Protectors and the Cryos. Do not bother changing your size for team size on this, because it's only going to be 9 Cryos on this map, and you'll just generate more Crey. And yes, this alt has sold his way through the other missions of Aeon to get here. It's not impossible, though some archetype power sets may have a better time of it than others. And I'm going to conjure up a little bit of extra firepower. If this character was along the lines of a tank, then I really wouldn't be needing to conjure the extra firepower, but defenders are not always known for ruggedness, so hey. So if you happen to need some progress on the Infiltrator badge for smashing the Paragon Protectors, hey, that's great. This alt already finished that up elsewhere. That'll be a separate video for another time. Okay, here's the next 2. So we've taken down 3. These 2 will make 5. Some of these character names for the Cryos do look a bit familiar in terms of pop culture, but I can't place them all. But no matter. Okay, we'll move on ahead to the next area. There's 2 more, and also one of the immature clones that you get for the ankle biter badge. However, this is not the mission to farm for that. You only get one, maybe two at most on this map. And there's only one mission for them, and we'll get to that on a separate video. And yes, this character does not slot for knockback to knockdown, because sometimes it's nice to have the knockback where you can just juggle your enemies and keep them pinned in the corner, pin them down. Yeah. It tends to help a little bit. Especially if you're doing fake nemesis. That way they can't turn on their force field most of the time, and oh no. Seems like my Echo Positron is busy elsewhere. Yep. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got some trouble here. Where is my Echo at? There he is. That's fine. Okay. This here is a harbinger of things to come. I don't know what Homecoming's got planned for sure, but I did do a screenshot of that once upon a time and did a little bit of editing to brighten it up. It is the generic female model character, but it's all green in color, so can't say for sure who or what it is, but judging by the height and general configuration, and going by the conclusion of the Who Will Die story arc, where Statesman and Sister Psyche were both eliminated, there is a loophole in there for Sister Psyche to possibly come back. And judging by the general configuration of the being in there, well, that could actually be some type of a revival attempt on Sister Psyche. Just speculation. That is pure 100% speculation. And I'm only taking time to wipe these guys out since they're already aggroed. A Stalker could stealth this a lot better, but yeah. Down. Burn them up. Move on to the last two Cryos. There's two more Cryos left. The mobs are kind of heavy, but we'll see if we can take them out. If not, no big deal. That cleans out the aggro. See if I can get his attention without aggroing those others. Let's see if we can get lucky here. Bushnell. There's a familiar name. Possibly named after the founding father of Atari. Could be. Okay, well this is good. Now, let's just fall way back. Started with 5, ended with 14, so we got all 9. Okay. So now it's going to be a reset and repeat. Hopefully getting all 9 at a time for a few more runs. Okay, and we're back for the second half of the City Heroes video tour. We have finished our farming of the Crey Cryos. Took about 5 resets on that mission. Now we're here to go ahead and work on another badge. The Beast Within. Yeah. Now this badge has been tweaked a bit since it first came out. It used to only be 5th column, then it became Council as well. You could street sweep in areas where 5th column and Council are at, and maybe you'll find one that'll transform into a wolf, maybe not. And any mission I think that's level 25 plus with 5th column or Council has a chance, like case in point, the Penelope Inn Task Force, you can sometimes get some in there, but it is random. And also, you gotta make sure that if they start transforming, you stop attacking, because if you defeat them while they're in mid-transform, then it's not gonna work, they're not gonna change. You gotta beat them once they go into full beast mode. So here we are, still on the Aeon Strike Force, going for the one mission that you can very easily harvest for that particular badge. I've already got progress on it, as you saw. I only need about 16 of them, and I should be able to get them in one sweep of this mission, although we shall see what we shall see. If I have to reset, then we'll reset. No big deal. Okay, this is exactly where we need to be for farming out of this badge. Prepare for the cutscene. Okay. So much for the little cutscene. What we want on this map are the Dark Vampire. When they get low enough on health, they can transform into werewolf mode. There are multiple groups of them. There's 5 here. 5 here. And if we trot along over to here, there's another 5. Then another 5 right here. It's the Dark Vampire you want, not the Adjutants. So we just found a total of 20 that we can use. And then here near the AV area, which we're not going to farm them from here, but there's 5 here. And 5 right there. But we're not going to bother with them because I really don't want to risk the AVs getting aggroed. So, tick-tock on that clock up there, by the way. If the clock is too low, I can just log out and reset and go back in here. So, we're going to try for a 1x1 pull. Although I'm sure some of the other 5th column will come. That always happens. That's fine, let them. I mean, again, you can use any L25 plus council or 5th column mission, and you might get some. The emphasis is might. You might get 1, maybe 2, maybe 5, maybe 10, or likely 0. Of course, the Barracuda Strike Force with all of its ambushes, well, that might help you out with this. Or might not. None of them may transform, or they might be killed faster than they can transform, because that fight does get a little bit intense. So just bear that in mind as well. Despite all the excess aggro that is inevitable, and that clock up there, I have found this to be the better mission overall. I don't know where that other dark vampire went. Oh well. Alright, well, they're all coming at me, and so here we go. This has the potential to become a comedy of errors, so let's see what happens. Yeah, that's one of the dark vampires right there, and this is another one. There's still 2 over there. Where is the other one? He must still be in the crowd over there. Uh-oh. This is not a good time for signature summoning pets because they're uncontrollable. And as you can see, it just flipped into wolf mode. That's what we wanted. We're at 34 on the badge. Always watch the health of the Dark Vampire, because if they drop too far, you can defeat them before they transform, and that's a waste. Okay, defeated in beast mode and badge ticked. That's how you do it. Okay, you just went beast mode. Okay, back on my feet after the comedy of errors. And let's see if we can pick up the pace a notch. Tick-tock on that clock. Okay, with luck, that one's gonna go beast mode. Yep, just perfect. Let's get rid of some of these guys here. Make a little elbow room. This won't be about knockback in your attacks, you can keep them pinned down. We're still missing a dark vampire that tried to run away. I'm not going to go chasing him down right now. Oh, nope, he came back. He's just trying to hide in the crowd again. There he is. Couple more taps. There he goes. Beast mode. See if I can keep him pinned against the shield. Nope, that's okay. Empire. There. Takes care of the wall. Problems that these mobs are all aggro mobs, so be as careful as you want, you're gonna have to deal with aggro. There he goes. Oh. Next group moving. to hold my fire. I almost took him out too soon. Now, though, we can work on finishing all these guys off. Because these aggros are really getting annoying. That brings in the next one. Ceasefire for a moment. There he goes. Got plenty of daggers, that's always good. Okay, good. This is the last one of the first two groups. Still got enough time on the clock to go for some more. May need to do a reset of the mission to finish the badge, but that's okay. Wouldn't be the first time that's ever happened. Done this many times with many alts, be they Stalker, Defender, like this one is, or Blasters, or Brutes, Peacebringer, Warshade. Yeah. Almost badly timed that last blast there. Any AT can do this. Some AT power sets will have an easier time than others. Expect aggro link with the mobs though, no matter what. Okay. 6 more. Had 34 when we started, now I just need 6 more. I know where I can get the next 5, right here. Let's go to maximum sniper range. And see if that breaks the aggro. So far, so good. Another almost mistimed attack. They can be destroyed in mid-transform, so you gotta be careful about that. And if that happens, they don't count towards the badge. You gotta take them down after they fully transform and come back on the attack. Okay. Oops, might have a little aggro coming. Yep. Let's try and stay on target. Again, this is not a good time for signature summon pests. They're uncontrollable. They could just pull a bunch of aggro. They might wipe out the Dark Vampire before they can change. So yeah, not a good idea. Mastermind pets have some control, of course, for their pets. Even lore pets at the moment would probably not be the best of ideas. I know it's tempting, but hey. Alright, new world. Newly transformed. Excellent. I should get some of the aggro off my back. Three more. 16 on the clock. Should be able to do this. I've taken it down to less than a minute before, so not really all that weird. Again, to reiterate a previous point, any council or 5th column mission that's L25 plus could give you 5th column soldiers that could transform into wolf mode. It's random. You might get some, you might get none. Con Task Force and Barracuda Strike Force might help you out with it. Some of the soldiers in those have been known to shift into beast mode. But again, it can be very few and far between. This mission in the Aeon Strike Force is really your best for farming it out. I realize it's a little bit cumbersome. First you gotta get to the mission. Then you gotta put up with all the aggro like I've been doing. So. But again, some archetype power sets will be better off than others. There we are. Yep, plenty of time left on the clock. Doing good. Perfect. Right what I wanted to do. Okay. That group of 5 is done. 14 on the clock, 1 to go. And here's the other group of 5 that I showed earlier, so we can skip the groups that are near the AVs. Alright, tagged him with a poison dagger, duck back out of sight, out of range. And good, he's coming alone. As long as no other aggro, somebody decides to change their mind and come after me, great. There we go. And down he goes. Shiny badge. Beast within. Alright. That's that. So that's going to be a cut and a print and a wrap on this. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next video, and don't forget to turn your computer off and go outside and play for a while. And always feel free to like and subscribe to the channel.